At around 12:30 p.m. local time Sunday, the Azerbaijani Armed Forces attempted to violate Armenia's state border in the direction of Tavush province and with an UAZ-model vehicle, Shushan Stepanyan, spokesperson for the defense minister, wrote on her Facebook. After the warning of the Armenian side, the Azerbaijani servicemen returned to their position, leaving the UAZ-model vehicle behind. At 1:45 p.m., the servicemen of the Azerbaijani Armed Forces repeated, using artillery fire, the attempt to seize the border position of the Armenian Armed Forces, but were suppressed by the Armenian side and driven back, suffering casualties. There are no casualties on the Armenian side, she added. In the evening, the Azerbaijani side resumed shooting at the positions. The shooting periodically continued throughout the night. All the opponent's attempts are neutralized by units of the Armenian Armed Forces. On Monday morning, the opponent resumed provocative actions, continuing to shoot at Armenian positions. The Armenian Armed Forces gave an adequate response. There are no losses from the Armenian side. However, an Azerbaijani side has already reported 4 losses from its side. According to Stepanyan, Armenian Armed Forces do not fire in the direction of Azerbaijani settlements. Only engineering infrastructure and military equipment are being targeted. The political and military leadership of Azerbaijan will bear all responsibility for the losses of the Azerbaijani side and the consequences of the aggravation of the situation, the Armenian Ministry of Defense added. As the Defense Ministry spokeswoman noted, Defense Minister David Toroyan is in constant contact with the personal representative of the OSCE Chairperson in Office, Andrzej Gazpershik. During the last conversation, the Ministry of Defense informed that the personnel and command of the Armenian army are instructed to remain restrained for the time being, and in case of provocations of the enemy on the borders of the Republic of Armenia, react as necessary, up to the capture of new advantageous positions. Armenia Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said Monday that no provocative actions of Baku will remain unanswered. According to him, the actions of the armed forces of Azerbaijan deserve the most severe condemnation. Instead of calling on their people to comply with the rules of epidemiological safety, the Azerbaijani leadership advocates military rhetoric and calls for war, as if Armenianophobia is the best way to combat COVID-19, he noted. EU Special Representative for the South Caucasus and the crisis in Georgia, Toivo Klar, took to his Twitter to express concern over an exchange of fire on Armenia-Azerbaijan border. Very concerned about an exchange of fire on Armenia-Azerbaijan border. Important for both countries to show restraint and to use all channels of communication, both direct and the good offices of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs, he tweeted. The Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in turn, expressed serious concern about the sharp aggravation of the situation on the Armenian-Azerbaijani border and is ready to provide the necessary assistance to stabilize the situation. Meanwhile, the Collective Security Treaty Organization Secretary General Stanislav Zas has initiated an emergency sitting on Monday amid the situation on the Armenian-Azerbaijani border.